Sort of an astrology forecast for the moment. We are in early August 2025, August 3rd to be exact. If you're watching this around that time, you may have already noticed that we're in a time that is very prone to conflict. But it's productive conflict. Also, I'm not going to tell you exactly what aspects are happening in transit right now because I don't want you to rely on that kind of information and then blame the planets when things don't go your way. That's to totally miss the point of what astrological work is about. Anyway, don't worry about those details. That's my job. It's also my job to just give you the wisdom so you don't have to learn the techniques. All right. But here's the cool thing. You don't need astrology because you probably picked up on this already. And if you haven't, that's okay. There's still some timeless wisdom here anyway. All right. So productive conflicts. What is that? It's a conflict where you're in a better place after it happens. It's not just fighting for the sake of fighting, arguing for the sake of arguing. You're gaining a new perspective on a situation, on life, on relationships, on a particular person, maybe. And it's likely that you will have multiple conflicts in this time with multiple people, and their natures might be very different. But regardless, this is what I want to instill in you, all right? I'm not simply describing this is what's likely to happen, good luck. I'm going to give you a little advice here about conflicts in general, specifically thinking about them. How much is too much thought when it comes to a conflict? You don't want to ruminate about it once it happens, all right? Rumination is obsession over the details without sight of the big picture. And that is the devil. All right, that is you not knowing where you are, where true north is, and you're obsessing over details, numbers, facts, information, little atomized, minuscule, insignificant tidbits of information without regard for how it fits into the whole of a relationship, of reality, of truth, whatever the case may be. If you're understanding of something. So you don't want to ruminate. All right, it's just a fucking hamster wheel of useless, irrational thoughts. Even if it makes sense to you. Even if it satisfies some of your left-brained need to control things, to possess things, to grab onto one thing at a time. Who cares, man? You know? So don't ruminate. This is the correct degree and quality of thought that you want to keep in mind, that you want to abide by all the time. Anytime you have a conflict, don't ruminate about it. Fuck the details. What's the big picture like? What are you trying to do? So you don't want to understand too much more than you're capable of making use of, right? So what you should do is think about it to the extent that you understand the big picture of what's really going on here, but not any more than you need to, because that might throw you into chaos. Right? Understanding has its limit in terms of value. Depends on the person, depends on the situation. Depends on their capacity for accurate thought. Okay? Don't focus on the details. Think about it to the extent that you have to understand what's really going on, to understand the gist of it, so that you can let it go. You can forgive. You can let it go. You can move on from it. And you reflect. You think about, is there anyone involved who I should talk to? How should I do that? Is there anyone I owe an apology to? That's all you need to do when conflict arises. An apology is not for you, it's for them. Okay? Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. So, forgive all by default, because that's your work. And then, who do I owe an apology to? Who feels as though maybe I owe them an apology, even though it's based on a misunderstanding? It's still okay to apologize in that situation. So reflect enough to tell whether you need to do that or not. That preceded by thinking about the situation objectively to understand what happened enough so that you can let it go and forgive all. Those are the only two things that you need to focus on when it comes to thinking after a conflict happens. All right, I hope this message finds you well. Cheers.